and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Castle FM Cape Coast, Laura FM Laura, and Radio Max Takoradi. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Kolebu Teaching Hospital yet to settle 4 million cedi debt after it resumed outpatient dialysis nearly 5 months after shutdown. The Ministry of Health says it is taking steps to offset the debt.
Government has taken steps to ensure that that debt is cleared. Give us these documents so that government will come in to clear.
Meanwhile, the renal patients say they cannot afford any increment in dialysis fees as the hospital pushes Parliament to expedite the approval of new charges. Also, pedestrian knockdowns remain the leading cause of deaths in Accra as road accident records a significant decline by 22% in 2022 in business.
Ghana to secure more funding from the International Monetary Fund after the board approved a proposal to increase member quota by 50%. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And later in the bulletin, we'll tell you how the OR Foundation and some fashion designers from Kantamanto are adding style and bringing second-hand clothing, popularly known as Obroniwewu, to the runway.
Most of these people here, the clothing that you are seeing here, the ones you see on the runway, will most likely have ended up in some damp or some gutters or be somewhere.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Details now. More than 48 hours after resuming outpatient dialysis, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has yet to offset a 4 million cedi debt that led to its 5 months shutdown. The Renal Patients Association of Ghana reported that at least 19 deaths were reported during the closure. The situation resulted in compromised treatment, forcing many of their members to settle for less frequent dialysis sessions, contrary to the recommended thrice weekly schedule. The Ministry of Health says it is taking steps to pay the debt. Isaac Ofe is Health Ministry's PRO.
Government has taken steps to ensure that that debt is cleared. It is as a result of the subsidy that's paid out. However, there has also been a different support to them in order that we don't get back to those places, those situations again. So that going forward, we are able to say that we are operating the place without any challenges of debt that we incur after the place has been opened.
Well, Isaac Ofe also mentioned that the ministry has implemented measures to prevent a reaccumulation of the debt. He stated that the ministry has devised several interventions aimed at promptly clearing the subsidies.
The ministry is also initiating efforts like creating a fund for them so that going forward, ministry or government is able to lead or subsidize some of these payments so that it doesn't come back that Kolebu is owing. Remember, Kolebu is an agency just like Ghana Health Service, Food and Transport under the ministry. So we lead some of these policies for them. They bring it here and then we have to submit those things to Parliament. So we sit down with them, then we formulate policies that will be able to take care of some of these lapses that has been there for the past.
Meanwhile, renal patients say they cannot afford any increment in the fees for dialysis as the hospital charges Parliament to expedite the approval of new charges. Kojo Bafwa Christ, president of the Renal Patients Association.
Even the 380, like we keep saying, it was First Sky who was paying for us. Now that they've called us and said we should come and pay, we don't even know whether the First Sky is still going to pay or but for now they've told us that when you are coming, come with your 380. So if the 380 we are having a challenge and they are trying to get Parliament to increase it, we will come back to square one. We cannot afford.
Kojo Bafwa Christ, president of the Renal Patients Association. Now, pedestrian knockdowns continue to lead road traffic deaths in Accra despite a 22% decline in road fatalities in 2022, according to a Bloomberg Philanthropist Accra Road Safety Report. Ebenezer Beidou is its road injury surveillance coordinator in Accra.
So we start off with the trend in deaths and injuries from 2018 to 2022. Actually been a steady decline in the number of reported deaths in the last 2 years. 2022 and 2021, there's actually been a 17% decrease in road fatalities. For serious injuries, we've also seen a steady decline in the number of reported serious injuries in the last 5 years. Similar to the overall deaths, we also saw a 22% decrease in the number of reported crashes in the most recent years. And we could likely attribute them to enhanced enforcement by the police.
There is an easy calm in Ada as residents accuse security operatives of Electrochem Ghana Limited for shooting and killing 2 persons on Monday. Listen to Nene Milo Dadibom Ainim II, chief of Toflopo, who narrated what happened to Joy News.
In the afternoon, we heard the news that some Langas, together with the police, came to attack our people, and then the Langas are waging machetes and cutting the robbers that they are using, slashing them with cutlasses. And then if you are there and you wanted to inquire the reason of that, then they pounce on you with their machete, they butcher you, and then that is the first news we heard. But later on, a call came that one person was shot dead. When we go there, one of our committee members is lying down in a pool of blood, dead.
Meanwhile, Electrochem Ghana Limited has denied any alleged shooting during the confrontation between its security personnel and community members. Nene Saida is operations manager of Electrochem.
So what happened yesterday was we went to their normal duties, and then where we were supposed to work, some people have laid tarpaulins over there, and those tarpaulins are supposed to be removed so that we can continue working. In the time of removing the tarpaulins, and then some community people came there in their numbers, and then of course have different verbal talks with the security system, start throwing stones and things. So that's what happened.
Moving on, there is renewed pressure on President Akufo-Addo this morning to take advantage of his last year in office to dismiss non-performing ministers and reduce the size of his government. The finance minister will be presenting the 2024 budget later this month in the midst of Ghana's worst economic crisis in a generation that has forced the country back to the IMF. Speaking on PM Express last night, economist and former board chairman of Unilever, Dr. Ishmael Yamson, says the president has a final opportunity to salvage his legacy.
Right now, this economy is on its knees. We know why we are where we are. We have had appointees who have done nothing. I will expect him to slim his government, to save costs, even if for 6 months, because it will save this country a lot of money. Because you see, you cannot pour water into a basket. And that's why your 3 billion from IMF for me is nothing.
Economist and former board chairman of Unilever, Dr. Ishmael Yamson, there now with less than 2 weeks for the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, to present the budget to Parliament. NDC MPs in the Greater Accra region are threatening to oppose it if government does not make adequate commitment to construct the La General Hospital. Government demolished the facility prior to the 2020 election to construct a new facility, but almost no work has been done. MP for Ododo Diodio, Nilante Vanderpoy, is chairman of the caucus.
As we are speaking today, in the next budget, we will want to see a commitment to the commencement of work on the La General Hospital. It shouldn't be any promise. We want to see it in the next budget. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I am the chairman of the Greater Accra Caucus of the minority. You are on our land, and I'm assuring you, if we don't see it in the budget, we will not make the budget in this house come out.
Ododo Diodio MP Nilante Vanderpoy there. Now, the Kantamanto market in Accra is the hub for second-hand clothing, popularly known as Obroni Wewu. The OR Foundation and some designers from the market are helping to bring some of these clothes to the runway, with models wearing them with style. Over 1,000 people from different backgrounds were present at the Rollins Park in Accra for the second edition of the Obroni Wewu Festival to celebrate the Kantamanto market for its role in reuse, repair, upcycling, and remanufacturing of used clothing. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Welcome to the Rollins Park, where scores of models graced the runway with elegance and style.
The Obroni Wewu 2023 festival has brought to life clothes that hitherto would have been dumped in Ghana's drainage system, choking and perhaps causing flooding. The talented young ones here have brought life to these clothes, and now they are on the runway.
The lead organizer Sami Oten passionately urged industry players and policymakers to acknowledge the invaluable contribution of Kantamanto to Ghana's fashion landscape.
What is most significant is that we have designers from Kantamanto who are very, very talented and creative individuals who have gone under 2 months intensive training. And we also have a pop-up shop where most of the vendors from Kantamanto are selling their goods here as well. Beneath the surface, there's so much that is being done in terms of environmental activism. As in, most of these people here, the clothing that you are seeing here, the ones you see on the runway, will most likely have ended up in some dump or some gutters or be somewhere. But this is because
And that's it for the bulletin. In our top story, Kolebu Teaching Hospital yet to settle 4 million cedi debt after it resumed outpatient dialysis nearly 5 months after it shut down. The Ministry of Health says it is taking steps to offset the debt. I'm Amesi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
Joy 99.7 FM.